Hello, it's Gabby here for you. Before we jump onto this week's podcast, I just want to let you know about 2 ways that you can work with me. First of all, I do one-to-one coaching and I do that via Zoom, so we can jump on a Zoom call at a time to suit you. The second thing I've got for you is an online coaching course that's 12 modules that you can download straight away now. There will be a link somewhere around these podcast notes. And this is the course that I've designed, and it's got everything in it that I wish I'd have known when I finished cancer treatment and I was lost. So you can download that course now and you can start working towards making this your happiest and healthiest year ever. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you think. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hello and welcome to Confidence After Cancer. I'm Gabby Mottershead, cancer recovery coach. And if you're a professional person trying to rebuild your confidence, your energy and your life after cancer treatment, you are in exactly the right place. Before we begin, if anything I talk about today feels like your story, I'd love to invite you to book a free confidence clarity call. It's absolutely no pressure, just a conversation to explore where you are now and where you'd like to be. You will find the link to book that with me in the show notes. And today's episode is one that I hear about almost every single week. It's that moment when everyone around you believes you're recovered, but inside you know that you haven't. Everyone says, "Oh wow, you look amazing. So good to see you back. I'm so pleased you're better." And every single one of those comments comes from kindness, but they can also feel incredibly lonely because what you're thinking is, "I'm just exhausted. I honestly don't recognize myself anymore. I'm holding everything together. I am terrified people will discover how much I'm struggling." Can you relate? Perhaps you've gone back to work. You're meeting deadlines. You're smiling in meetings. You're picking up the shopping, sorting the house, looking after everybody else like you always have done. And from the outside, it looks as if your life has returned to normal. But inside, you're wondering why it feels so hard. Why is this so difficult? And this is really about the invisible recovery. Cancer treatment ends. Appointments become less frequent. People will stop asking how you are. And life expects you to slot back neatly into the person that you were before, except you're not the same person. Your body has changed. Your confidence has changed. Your priorities may have changed. And sometimes your relationships have changed as well. And nobody gives you a map for this part. The end of treatment is not the end of recovery. In many ways, it's the beginning of learning how to live with everything that you've been through. Sometimes it can feel like we're wearing a mask. And can I tell you something that I've noticed over the years? The women who look as if they're coping the best are often the ones carrying the heaviest load. They may have gone back to work. They're looking after everybody else. They're smiling in meetings. They're organising family holidays. They're ticking off the to-do list. And from the outside, they look like they've got it all together. But underneath, they're constantly managing their energy. They are wondering whether they'll ever feel like themselves again. They may be lying awake at 3 a.m, just worrying that every ache or pain means that cancer has come back. They're comparing themselves to the woman that they used to be and wondering, where did she go? And because no one else can see that struggle, they begin to question themselves. Is there something wrong with this? Is there something wrong with me? Maybe I should be over this by now. Everyone else seems to manage this better than I do. What on earth is wrong with me? And here's what I want you to know. There's nothing wrong with you. Recovery isn't measured by how quickly you bounce back. It's measured by how gently you learn to live with everything that you've been through. Many of the women I work with are incredibly capable. They've built successful careers or maybe a successful business. They are the dependable one. They are the organizer, the leader, the person that everybody else relies on. So they become very good at pretending, smiling, working, looking fine until they get home, close that front door, and completely fall apart. Not because they're weak, far from it, but because they've been carrying far more than anybody realizes. I want to remind you, you don't have to earn your rest. I see this so often that many women feel like they have to earn the right to rest. They'll say, once I've finished this project, or once everyone else is sorted, or once the house is tidy, or once I've caught up at work. But here's the truth. Recovery doesn't happen in the gaps that are left over. Recovery needs to become one of your priorities, one of the most important things that you can focus on. Not because you're selfish, far from it, but because you're valuable. And if you continue pouring from an empty cup, eventually there's nothing left to give to anyone else. And that's not the future that you want. So I have a question for you. What would happen if you stopped measuring your recovery by how well you hide your struggles? Just think about that for a minute. Because so many women believe that they're succeeding because nobody notices they're struggling. But healing isn't about becoming better at pretending. Healing is about becoming more honest with yourself. It's about giving yourself permission to say, today I'm tired. Today I need to slow down. Today I need support. And that isn't giving up. That is listening to your body with kindness instead of criticism. So I'd love you to ask yourself just one question. What do I actually need right now? Not what everybody else needs, not what work needs, not what your family need. What do you need? Maybe it's more rest. Maybe it's asking for help. Maybe it's saying no. Maybe it's finally admitting this is actually harder than I thought. And that isn't failure. That's courage. That's honesty. And this is exactly what we explore together inside my private coaching. Not fixing you because you're not broken, but by helping you rebuild confidence, protect your energy, and create a life that feels like yours again. Because surviving cancer was truly only the beginning of your recovery. Now, this phase is all about learning how to truly live afterwards. So if today's episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. And please share it with another woman who needs to know that she's not alone. And if you're ready to stop simply surviving and start creating a life that feels good again, I'd love to support you. You can book a free confidence clarity call using the link in the show notes somewhere around this podcast. So thank you so much for spending this time with me today. And remember, you don't have to prove that you're okay. You don't have to recover on anybody else's timeline. And you certainly don't have to do this alone. Take very gentle care of yourself. Stay safe, stay sane, and I will see you next week on Confidence After Cancer. Bye-bye.